This podcast is sponsored by Darling Eyewear. Activate your alter ego with Darling Eyewear and start seeing life through a different set of lenses. Shop darlingeyewear.com. Tell them Demetrius Lee and Angela Lee in the Lee Life Experience Podcast sent you. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to a new episode of the Lee Life Experience Podcast. And you have Angie and Demetrius here. We will be your hosts for this evening. We want to tell you thank you. Those of you who are rocking with us, thank you so very much for taking the opportunity to turn us up in your car, or if you're sitting at home, or if you're on your job, or you going to or from work. We want to say thank you. If you new and you just joining in, hey, how you doing? Welcome. And don't keep us to yourself. Go ahead and share us with your friends and your family, anybody who you think may be able to benefit from some of the information that Demetrius and I talk about. But if you want to get your topics heard, if you say, hey, Angie, I don't just quite agree with you and Demetrius, then come on and be a guest. You can come on anonymously if you want. You want to do that by texting 833-370-1608. Put relationships without an S in the comment. So, Demetrius, how you doing today?
I'm doing just lovely, Honey Bunch. Thank you for asking. Hey, we got to tell them now. I need y'all to subscribe and like, dislike this video. We gotta get this YouTube algorithm moving. You know, I know some people get to saying that, you know, I be afraid to hit the like button or hit the don't like button because if I'm gonna get some money off the deal. I ain't getting no money off the deal. Hey, I just want to get, and you like it, and subscribe. You know, reach more people. That's what we're trying to do in this podcast. Reach people, get these stories across, because they're real life stories. It ain't no made up stories. We don't help anybody we can, Honey Bunch. Just trying to help them.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's right. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing wonderful. I have no complaints.
Oh, you look wonderful, baby.
Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You know where we're going today? Today we're going to do a reaction. We're doing a reaction videos today. So we're going on current events that has been a trending topic, and we want to give our insight, our input on it. And those of you, if you want to create dialogue, go ahead and post it in the comment and let us know, you know, what your feedback is. Again, these are just Demetrius and I opinion of the situation, and do not take it to heart. Demetrius and I are not therapists, so we highly recommend that if you're going through anything that we have talked about, or you going through some challenging
Don't make no
times right
decision. Nothing we talked about. No
yeah, if you're having some issues or challenging time right now, we highly suggest you go talk to somebody that you can confide in, even on a professional level, you know, because your friends have friends. So don't talk to your friend about your particular situation. We ask them, when you're talking about something deep and being vulnerable, I think this conversation that I'm getting ready to talk about now is this lady was being very vulnerable, and unfortunately everybody don't have a sympathetic or empathetic heart. So Demetrius, I'm gonna do just a quick bio of the lady that we're talking about for the trending topic for the reaction today. We're going to talk about Dawn Robinson. Dawn Robinson is 58 years old. No, 54 years old. She's 54 years old, and she's the current group member of En Vogue. I don't know if you all remember the group En Vogue, but
what it gonna be?
Yeah, so those I remember that song, and like, listen, depending on how old you are, if I was to play a beat, I know you're gonna say, "Oh, that take me back to whatever you was doing around that time." But anyway, Dawn came on live on her private page, personal page, and she gave some vulnerable information, and she talked about being homeless. A lot of people did not agree with her coming on out. Even her ex-husband came out, and I don't know if he was trying to protect her or was he adding insult to injury by, you know, going over her mishaps through life. So Demetrius and I gonna hit on him a little later, just because he added himself to the conversation. So I'm gonna say this: when we look at pop stars. I'm talking about all of them. You know, I know she's considered in the R&B category, but when you look at them, do you not think life happened to regular smuggler people? They still regular smuggler people, even though they were on TV, even though they made all this, made albums. If they do not manage their money correctly, Demetrius, they just like us.
That's a fact.
They are just like us. So mishaps happen to everybody. I always reference it, and when I talk to Demetrius, I tell him everybody gonna have a chance to fall from grace. And if you hadn't had it, keep on living. Keep on living, because you will experience. You can be on top of the world one minute, and guess what? And God will let you be in the valley in the next. I'm telling you, Demetrius and I are living proof. Living proof that you can have it all together, and the next thing you know, what they say, I was on top of the world, and the next thing I know, the world on top of me. Everybody mentally cannot take it. Everybody mentally, Demetrius, cannot handle navigating through life when life get the best of them. That's the reason why I know, they have censored this word, but that's the reason why it started with an S and end with an E. That's the reason why that word is so powerful, because people take their lives off of it because life have gotten so hard. People take their life when they, for status, for pride, because they think everybody know, and then they feel like they unworthy, and they end up not feeling complete. So they feel like, they better off just, unliving themselves, and they don't, some of them don't just take themselves, they take other people with them. So Demetrius, I'm gonna let you touch on a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and kind of read, like, how would you allow yourself to become homeless though? Go ahead.
That's a good question. Cause see, you don't know. Everything come to the end. She did a R&B. She was a singer in the group. You don't know, like, what the word I want to use when they hold your you make the music, but somebody got control of it. They call her name. I can't think of the name right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, she ain't had the right to her music, so somebody else making money off that music. So if you ain't got a plan B, that's what happened. She didn't ever have a plan B, I don't think. I don't know her like that, so I'm guessing she ain't had no plan B, because she would have had somebody else come in. Because trust me, I know how the lady feel. I've been through that. I lost my job for a year and a half, 2 years, but I had to go get another job. A lesser job way below me, I took almost a $60,000 pay cut. So, that was rough, man. You down and out, you don't want to ask nobody for nothing, because, you don't like you begging, but sometimes, man, you got to put your pride aside, you need help. And it seemed like that woman need help to me. She said she's sleeping in the car. And I believe she might, she said that her mama, she with her mama, and her mama, I guess, she didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing, like, the mama might be getting on her nerve, getting on her, probably, telling her like a kid, what you do, just getting on about the mistakes she made. And say she left, sleeping out of the car. And that's a bad thing. And y'all don't know, I'll tell y'all a little something about my job I do. I work on the railroad. I drive trains. And I go through these places, and I see people all the time, homeless, laying up on the bridges, sleeping on the cars, sleeping in tents. I mean, you'd be surprised. People in the woods. I mean, like winter time, down in the woods. Think about it, sleeping with snakes and bugs. I'm telling you, I see this stuff all the time, man. I gotta see it every once in a while. Y'all might see it. My job confined me to see this all the time. That's bad, man. Somebody live like that. Then we take life for granted. But there's a lot of people in this world going through a lot of bad things. Y'all just don't know about it. Y'all can see the things I see. I mean, it just people sleeping in like tree houses, cardboard boxes. So that woman, she said she was in a car. She was in a better place than some people here. What I'm seeing, but I know she don't want to be in that car. And and my goal one day to help people like that. That's what I know. Y'all don't know me. If I ever get wealthy enough, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna start what it called? I can't say that now either.
Or the homeless shelter?
Yeah, but I wouldn't. Yeah, homeless shelter. But I'm gonna what you call it, the thing when you get it? Not LLC. What you call it?
You're a nonprofit.
Yeah, nonprofit. Yes, I'm gonna say. See, my tongue get twisted. Y'all excuse me. Nonprofit. Yeah, get people to help people. Like I see it all the time. That's what I want to do, and I really do. I really mean that. So I don't know how the woman feel because I ain't never been homeless. I heard her story, but I'm a seen homeless people, and I think she's doing better than a lot of them. You know, because like I said, she in a car, and I can run. It took a lot. And I watched that video. She didn't want to tell it, and she just said it, and I know she felt better. She been holding in, trying to fool people.
For the trap.
Yeah, you know, because I learned that lesson too. You try to hold stuff, man. That's why I be honest with myself. Once you admit the truth to yourself, you can move forward. Then
You can move forward.
you try to hold it in, you can't never go forward. So she admitted, now I bet she gonna do better. She gonna tell everybody on social media she homeless, and she took everything in her power to do that. I mean, she tried not, but she went on to say it, and I'm praying for that woman. And I hope she, you know, I be God gonna bless her. She gonna make the first step of recovery in my
For
book.
recovery, yeah. I agree.
How about you can have it? Let you get a little bit of it, get you some.
Just when I put a mint in my mouth, you call on me.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry.
No, I want us to really. I'm currently in a Bible group, and I'm in a challenge right now, and we doing the book of Proverbs, and so every day we have to read a chapter of Proverbs. What I have learned up to this far is that the book of Proverbs, if you really kind of like apply it to your life, the principles of what God is asking and saying of us, talking about women, I think every man need to read that book of Proverbs because it's telling you about choosing a woman, and it's telling you about a bad woman. It's telling you to stay away from a bad woman. It's talking about dishonesty. It's talking about living a life of cheating. It's talking about wisdom, that if you have wisdom, you can go a long way. I think a lot of us, we so caught up in social media is, again, one of those added few that we can't wait. And I'm saying it because Demetrius and I do not currently live in a house. But in my mind, I cannot wait to show our picture of the keys that we done purchased, of the house. I cannot wait because I done seen it for I have seen it for witness for everybody else. I was like, God, it's my turn. But would I be happy to show my home, even if it's not as big, even if it's not as luxurious as everybody would expect Demetrius and I to get? Are you okay showing your shack and not what you? I mean, you okay showing the mansion, but Demetrius, you're not okay showing the shack till you get to where you're going. And I think a lot of us, people who are real, who live in real lives, that's the reason why they're afraid to tell. Because when she told it, she said, "Oh, I got it out. I went ahead and I said it." She shocked herself by going ahead and saying it because that's a burden, like Demetrius just mentioned. That's a burden to keep having a secret, and you know you don't want to live a life of lie. You don't want to live behind the scene, and you want people to think that you're doing good. And like I said, I know because I'm guilty and I have been convicted that, like I told Demetrius now, we can't get on here talking to people about relationships and marriage if you and I together have not went to a counselor and you don't know how they feel. So what did Demetrius and I do? We went to a counselor. Ain't it right, Demetrius?
Yes.
Because now we're able to speak from, Demetrius is able to speak from having a mediator talk to us. He couldn't tell nobody. How would he be able to tell somebody that? Every time we was talking, we was referencing, get a counselor, go talk to somebody else. How can you say that when you're not talking to anybody? If you're not living the life that you're trying to tell somebody else to live. And I'm saying this, that I'm hoping I'm freeing somebody, that if you around people and you having to live a fake life, those are not your friends.
That's right.
Come on and pull back and go and be with somebody that you can be genuinely with and about. I was in this program and I was with these ladies, and during COVID, majority of everybody was getting paid during COVID. People were staying at home making $4,000, just getting money from the government. But when that money stopped, real life came in, and those people who was having these nice, expensive lifestyle, real life didn't hit them because you know what? The money was gone. Now everybody was scrambling. I just worked with somebody who said they literally just got off a third shift job. They working another shift. They didn't have to say nothing because I already know if you working a whole nother shift and you just got off a shift, you trying to maintain that lifestyle. So we're willing to do this to our bodies in order to keep some of the things we got. And I'm not knocking the person now because I have double dipped. And that double dip just meaning that you working double shifts in that one day. And when you are trying to do that, when you can really say, you know what, I'm gonna have to downsize. But Demetrius, a lot of people don't want to downsize because they scared of the stigma. Say if you had to let that auto
Somebody
go
gonna
back.
say, scared somebody
Yeah,
gonna
say
say.
you had to let that auto go back because they were like, oh, Demetrius ain't been driving that auto. Oh, it must went back. It must went back. But if it had to go back, would you have been okay with it, Demetrius?
Yeah, I've been okay with it. I got to live. I can't live, I gotta have something, especially I got a place. It comes to me sleeping in a house or a car.
Mm-hmm.
A car got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I find me a bit of a jitterbug.
Not a jitterbug.
Yeah, a jitterbug. I ain't sure about a jitterbug because when I step in the place anyway, now I got some good rags on. You ain't gonna know it anyway.
Yeah, and I know I am just highlighting Demetrius because a lot of us, and when I'm saying us, and I want to include myself, because when I was running with groups of women, and just because they said nurse, everybody just felt like everybody had it all together. We had money. We could, if it was $1,000, hey, no problem. If it was $1,500, no problem. If it was $2,000, no problem. But I'm gonna tell you what made me having to do a double take. When you continue to reference, but when I came back and I was not able to find a shift, I was not able to find no work. It had been working for me, but I had nothing prepared for when I came back off my trip. That's when life hit me. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I was in different coaching programs. They were like, the coaching program was like $250 a month. I was in several coaching programs because I wanted to be part of the know. I wanted to know. I wanted to be in that particular lawyers group. I wanted to be in this other ladies group. I was in like 3 or 4 coaching programs. When I added up, Demetrius, I was paying like $500 a month on coaching programs from different people. Because I was addicted to the education. Not just to the education. I was addicted to being in the know. I was addicted in being in that circle of influence. I was addicted to it, even though I wasn't doing any work now. But I enjoyed that when I went to North Carolina and I sat at the table with Miss Rachel Rogers, and I'm getting there, I'm rubbing elbows, I'm doing all this. And then at the end of the day, I was not putting anything, I wasn't applying anything that these people was telling me. Only after that do you have this talk with yourself, a self-reflection. And I was like, Angie, you're going to have to pull it. And I'm thinking like, no, I still, trying to make excuses. Oh, I still can do it. I still can make it work. But Demetrius, the more that I tried to make it work, the deeper I was getting, deeper in debt.
Yeah.
And I had to finally walk away. I had to make the conscious decision. But think about it like this. Somebody that's listened to me over podcast land, you are faced with a decision right now and you still trying to hold on. You have an attachment issue. You need to walk away. I don't care if it's a person. I don't care if it's a thing. You need to walk away because you need to examine where are you getting right now. And I really believe in my heart of hearts, Dawn was addicted to the things. That's why she couldn't tell people the truth. And One thing that I have to agree with some of the other people. I didn't hear her take accountability. She blamed staying with her mom, and then she said, "Oh, her mom was kind of like taking things out on her, so she had to hurry up and leave there." Then she went and lived with one of her group members, and she was counting on everybody else to do her job. When you so relaxed in life and you don't handle your business, you run the risk of doing it for other people. If you don't believe in yourself, you're going to get up and clock in for somebody else who did believe in themselves. And I'm going to say that for the people in back. Anytime you don't show up for yourself, you run the greater risk of going clocking in for somebody who did believe in themselves. These Joel Demetrius, somebody else was confident to say, I'm going to start the railroad and I'm going to get people to work it. And I'm just going to work my brain. But I'm going to get people like Demetrius Lee to get him to go to that train and drive that train and have that loud noise, and I'm going to pay him good. But the side effect to that, you got to listen to all that noise. Could run the risk of
leave my family.
Yeah, leaving your family, your health. Don't worry about all that smoking stuff y'all inhaling and stuff on the engine.
Yeah.
You are risking it, even though you're getting paid good money. Same thing with my son. You're getting paid good money, but look at his skin. Anything touch it quickly. That chemical so strong it'll make your skin disappear in seconds. And you think they're gonna pay you that kind of money, and it's not a high risk? It's a high risk. And I'm saying all that to say to you, some of you all are playing Russian roulette with your life. That I know we are talking about done, but I hope you see yourself as a done. That if we don't start getting our lifestyle in order, if we don't start doing better with money management,
that's the main thing right there. What you say, money management,
money management.
A lot of football players, like Bob was saying, a lot of basketball players made all the million, and just like doing right now. Some of them just like doing.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think that. Only thing probably keeping us above. I ain't make that much money. I'm still making money every year, so I got a job that keep me in control. But somebody make a couple million, all of a sudden that's gone. Whew. Kind of rough on the bunch. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah, you still working. So, but some people know they had made a million. They live a good life now. The money ain't coming no more. They don't know how to go work like me and you because they never had to do it.
That's what
they should have known finance.
Mr. Bryant said on Cam Newton show, you better be in love with education. I sent it to you on Instagram, Demetrius.
Yeah, I saw it today.
He said you better be in love with education. And I'm like I said, I said to my mom. She said, "Oh, I couldn't get back in no school. My brain so old." I said, "Mama, quit saying that. Quit saying it. Long as you can read, long as you can comprehend, you better let life embrace life." Demetrius, no, I don't watch TV. A lot of people say, "Oh, you don't do nothing but be on that computer all day." But as Demetrius, I bet you I know stuff.
Got that right.
I bet you I'm keeping up on what the latest trends on what's going on in the books. You don't want to read it. I love to read it. You better go hang with the nerds, cause I'm telling you, that's who gonna run the world. That's who running the world.
Who you working for?
That's who you working for. That's right. Everybody talking about Elon, but guess what Elon is? Everybody say, "Oh, he's strange. He looked like something weird." Yeah. But look at him, the most richest man in the world.
Yes.
But we calling him weird. So I'm just saying, you have to be conscious of your words and things that you're saying, and you better ask yourself, what part do I want to be on? Do I want to be on a part of this moving with the waves, or do I want to be a rock? I'm still. Even for Dunn to get on there, when Dunn got on there, she should have been asking herself, what am I going to do to move myself forward? Yes, I'm in the car now, but what am I going to do to get myself forward? I don't know if she have children, but what am I going to do to get myself up out the car? Okay, I got a car. Can I do Uber? Can I do DoorDash? Can I do Lyft? You know, if you scared to put people in your car, okay, can I do Uber Eats? Okay, can I do courier work?
That's what you're saying. That's the key to that. She,
Yeah.
she need to get a job.
Yeah,
Do
that's what I'm
something.
saying.
She pride. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to say, okay, then if this the hand that I'm dealt right now, Demetrius, I got to find a way to get up out of. I told you the Gen Zs, you all. I'm not talking about all y'all, but a good many of you all. Y'all don't know how to hustle. That if life throw the towel out, you all don't know how to get that towel and say, hey, you know what? Let me cut this towel. Let me cut it 4 ways. Let me cut it 6 ways. Let me see now that I had a towel. Now I got some washcloth. Let me go see how I can sell this. Who I'm gonna sell it to? Somebody who want to wash a car. That's who I sell it to. Somebody who want to clean shoes. Don't they need washcloths, Demetrius?
That's right.
You got to be creative when it comes this time. I told myself, I said, God, give me a business doing passive income. What do I have that I know I'm good at? That I can get paid for something that some people is already, that's a need. God, give it to me. What do I know? God, I got on Instagram. I typed it in the YouTube. I said, YouTube, if I'm broke, which way, how many ways can I make money if I'm dead broke? A lot of y'all have these phones. Y'all got track phones. Listen, even if you don't have, you couldn't get no up-to-date phone, they get these little Motorola phones or welfare phones or whatever they call them.
They call them bummer phone.
Yeah, a bummer phone.
care phone.
Yeah, if you get that, guess what? You can do something. You can do social media management. You got a phone. You need somebody who can pay you, who don't have time all day. But guess what? You got a phone all day. You got it in. Let me create me a business and be a social media marketer. Because I'm on here scrolling around anyway, Demetrius. Let me get paid to do your posting for you.
That's right.
You have to be, and I know some of you saying, oh, I ain't think about that. You better be thinking like that.
Plan A, it ain't guaranteed.
It ain't guaranteed.
You better have B. Hell, I just got B. I'm thinking about getting a C.
You better get a C. You better get a C. That's what I told Demetrius. I said, listen, we got to go. People calling me and talking about, they health stuff. Listen, I can't be on the phone with you all day and you don't think it's supposed to come with a link. I can't. I want you healthy. I do. But not at the expense that I got to sit down and go through all your diagnosis and all your medication. You don't think that deserve to get me anything. That's very irresponsible thinking.
Ooh.
Irresponsible, Demetrius. If I'm gonna be talking to you and I know that's your skill set, that's what you do, and I'm gonna rob you. I'm gonna rob God people.
They don't rob people about how much time is. Time costs. And it's priceless too. Yeah. You can't get it back either.
So I'm just only saying that when I was writing down and taking notes on this on Dunn, again, she's the former singer to En Vogue that has been they got on her social media and spoke about being homeless for 3 years. A lot of people had mixed views on what they wanted to say, but I'm just gonna say that everything she said, it was a blame at her mom. The reason why she went with her mom, she went to live with a friend. She blamed a friend. Different outlets, and however it want to go. But I'm just gonna say, oh my shoulder itching. I'm just gonna say, nobody's gonna care about you like you. Everybody is mad and be mad. They be upset with my Coach Prime. But one thing Coach Prime has is confidence. He do not care what the situation is. He always gonna be looking at things in an optimistic way, and he's gonna tell you, I don't think of the second, because this has to work. And he moved forward with it, and he goes and he give it his best. And I think a lot of us have been, and when I say this word, I know some of my Christian people, now yes, I got a cross around my neck, but you have half-ass did things, and that's all you know how to do. You don't know how to show up 100 or 110. in your relationships, in your marriage, in your life, for you, for your kids, for your mom, for your parents, for your church, for your work. And some of you all are some big ages, Demetrius, and you still in your life. She's a big age. 54 is a big age, and you talking about you sleeping around in the car. In California, she say she love California too. So I understand why she went back to California. And again, I'm gonna tell you something. I can see doing it in California. Because even when I went out there, I told myself that, hey, I can go ahead and I can do, because I had a financial goal. I was like, I can go ahead and do this. I can stay in somewhere safe. I can go and sleep at I can go to sleep, and into, I think it's Planet Fitness, that they have a shower that you can get. If you get the membership, you can go in there 24/7. So I already had planned out that if push came to shove and something happened with me and my house where I was staying at with the households, then what's my plan B? Some of y'all, pride has y'all, and you're gonna mess up, because you all see President Trump is making a bunch of executive orders, signing a bunch of executive orders, and you better begin yourself in a place that you can, because where it was normal, it's not gonna be normal anymore. And look at those think about federal jobs. People didn't leave federal jobs, Demetrius. Those were jobs to retire off of.
That's right.
Now he done pushed them out. Where are they gonna go? If you
Gotta
just
have
close
plan B.
but Demetrius, talk about they a big age too. They've been there since there was, school. I mean, they've been there a long time, Demetrius. They don't know nothing else. That's all they know. And I'm just only saying that I remember a gentleman, he had told me, he said, Angie, encourage your son to go get a trade. And I didn't push my son about getting a trade, because really I felt like I got him out, it was no big deal. But now, coming back all these years later, I can hear his voice telling me those things. And if you don't know what a trade is, I'm gonna tell you who making when I'm saying a bunch of money, I'm saying a lot of money. And people love to say, what is a bunch of money? A nice living, sustainable salary. HVAC, heating, air, and cooling, they running a bag. Plumbing, getting a bag. Construction, getting a bag. Electrician, getting a bag. And so some of you all who was listening to grandpa and grandma, and you went out there and you watched and you just took on that trade. You didn't have to go anybody to school. Perfect it and get better. Those of you, if you good at something, perfect it and get better. Because you want to be in high demand. You do not want people looking at you and say, oh, well, you know what, Angie, you've been a nurse, but, you're not an asset to the team. You're not coming. You're not trying to grow. You're not an asset to the team. So I'm going to go over here and get Sarah. Sarah might be young and vibrant, or Sarah could be older than me. But Sarah done showed initiative that she want to do other things. So you stay complacent. And I'm saying I had to check myself. I just turned 49. So I'm looking at myself like, okay, Angie, how valuable are you to the team? And I feel like I'm valuable and an asset to the team, because one thing about me, they know Angie will work.
What you say you just turned 39?
I just turned 49, sir.
Oh, and I'm...
Mm-hmm. You such a hater.
Go ahead. I ain't mean to cut you.
You such a hater.
That's why you say 39.
Nah. But guess what? When I tell people that, they were like, oh, I thought you was in your 30s. No, not.
Hey,
but yeah, what you going to say?
No, I'm saying that until you go back what you said.
Okay.
I ain't mean to cut you out.
So I'm going to jump, and I'm going to say that when you looking at what the cause of homelessness is, sometimes it can be our own mishaps or mismanaging of money, not, count on everybody else instead of us being, being more proactive. you know. So if that's you, I need you to start being proactive. Demetrius and I, he always tell me, Angie, I have to know. And Demetrius will, he gonna ask 2 or 3 times the same question to make sure that we both understand each other. Not just me, I'm talking about but anything that he's getting done, any work that he's getting done, he's gonna make sure they understand what he's saying. And make sure they're clear. And then if it's some discrepancies in there, he's gonna go ahead and address them. A
That's
lot of
correct.
us we so laid back, and I'm saying it because that's why a lot of times I avoid, doing charge nursing, because I don't like the conflict. I don't like to handle it. I just like, just leave me be. Just leave me alone. Let me be. But financial is number one. Health issues is number two. Health issues, because you never know what's going to happen. And, you can be all right now. And like I said, you can be on top of the world, and your health, you can have a health crisis, Demetrius, that can come and interrupt your life.
Oh,
That
there's a
right.
lot of people out there. Stop your career.
Yeah.
Put your life
So
on hold.
that's right. And it says physical and mental health problems cannot pack your health, and that'll lead to unemployment. So again, I remember my aunt was working at this job, and because she had diabetes and she was a good worker, they ended up letting her go because she got sick. And when she got sick, of course, she lost insurance. And then she would be selling things, taking things out for a while to sell. And it's hurtful. It's hurtful to me now because I did not respect the grind. I was young, wasn't thinking. And it's hurtful as I think about it, because I could have did more. And people don't, realize how much insulin costs, how much, think about somebody having a controlled life. A diabetic has one of the most controlled life out of all health disorders. Diabetics are number one, because they have to give themselves a shot before they eat anything. When they get up at lunchtime, they have to do a finger prick, or if they have the little Dexcom on there. But I'm talking about the old school, the finger prick. Now, their life is very robotic. Morning, lunch, dinner. They have to do those sticks at that same time, or every day, all day, for the rest of their life. Can you imagine your life being like that? That every time you eat something, every time you're doing something, I'm just only saying that when you neglect your health and you still want to eat bad, you want to eat poorly, you don't want to work out, you don't want to go to the doctor because you want to stay in denial, you don't feel like you want to put a good foot forward. I'm just letting you know that everything that you putting in front of and not putting your health as priority, I'm letting you know that guess what, it can change. I done been in the room and heard several terminal illnesses. They came in there for abdominal pain, and it was stage 4 cancer. They came in there and he said, I just went and had these tests that, my father had cancer, and I'm just coming to make sure that this is not what it is. And guess what? The doctor came and said that this is exactly what it is. He had his daughter was getting ready to get married. He didn't even know whether he was going to be able to walk his daughter down the aisle. Something that they had been planning since she was in high school. Health can come and interrupt your life, people. So I mean, I know, what Demetrius and I saying, and I know you saying, that I don't believe it, but I'm telling you how life. I work in the emergency room, and I'm in between California and Georgia, and anywhere else that I pick up and go. So I'm telling you, life can come and interrupt your plans. So be very careful with that. And on my list that I had to talk about is making sure you have a support system. A lot of us, Demetrius, don't have support. You and I got each other, Demetrius, but what if something happened and you was by yourself at the time that you was by yourself, or at the time I was by myself? Just
Yeah.
think about just think about those people who or by themselves, like how do they handle it? That is another reason they can be homeless. They don't have anybody.
I tell you, everybody deal a hand. Everybody like you said, cards. Everybody deal a hand. Miss Dawn got to deal a hand. Now, how she gonna play her hand? I don't know how she gonna play it.
Yeah.
But I know we're running out of time. But all I would say to her is, suck your pride up.
Yeah.
And go find it's something you can do. You got that car, I ended to do Uber or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you'd be surprised the people you meet that who love you.
Mm-hmm.
It probably will help you. Some people, I mean, you live with no hand out, but
Mm-hmm.
you gonna pick somebody that, no, I know you.
Mm-hmm.
So, 'cause everybody go through a hard time. Like I say, Miss Dawn, I've been through a hard time. Like I say, you say I'm calling you Miss Dawn. I don't know who you is. I'm 54. You 4 years older than I am. What you say, age, I mean?
Yeah, same age.
Same age, okay. But still, I'm gonna call her Miss Dawn. Yeah, I've been through that. Like I lost my job. So for somebody giving thought, he don't know. I was. I didn't have no job, and I had to suck my pride up and go get a lesser job. In my head, for what I had, but I had to do what I had to do. I had to keep my house. I had cars. I had kids, and I worked every day,
Every
7
day.
days a week,
Every day.
12 hours a day, and did what I had to do. So, if I can pass anything to her, just she gonna get the hard part. She came out and say, now just suck it up. I know you probably never had to work. You never worked before, but just don't blame nobody. I know you like it feel like you blaming somebody. Sound like it, but take the blame on yourself. 'Cause everything happened to you because of you. Ain't nobody did it to you. So don't trick yourself and thinking he don't know me. Yeah, he would have gave me this. No, he ain't got to give you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You take care of yourself, and God gonna bless you. I'm gonna pray for you. I really am, and I'm dead serious about that. And I say all that to say, Miss Dawn, I know you've been dealt a bad hand right now, but your hand, you still got it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't throw it. Don't throw it in.
Mm-hmm.
Just play your hand, and I promise you'll come out on the right side. Especially you believe in God and you're a praying woman, or you got a higher power. I ain't gotta say it's God. Whoever your higher power is, yeah, just pray to him, and I promise he'll take you out of there. It'll get you where you need to be at. Man, where you want to be at, but it get you where you need to be. But you be in better shape than you are now. But you have, you can go and close it out. I mean, because
And again, I know this reaction is about Dunn, but it's some other Duns, Demetrius and the Angies out there that we want to be speaking to. That you still living in denial, and you too embarrassed to come out. I understand it. I get it. Like Demetrius said, that we all have been that fall from grace. Like he said, he been without a job. He
That's
had to
right.
go and take a lesser paying job and had to work more hours.
Took a
Try to get-
$60,000 pay cut. 60.
Yeah.
I was 65.
To be able to still kind of maintain life. So can you imagine his mental health? Can you imagine his body physically health? And then being able to have, a support system, somebody to be able to kind of understand, to build you up as you going through this journey. And Dunn, what I would do as well, I would take my phone out and look at my notes and being able to have one good cry, one good, come to Jesus, like this is where I am right now. And not crying gonna help, but crying gonna help you release. Think of financial, some financial ways, because I heard you saying something about you had an assistant. So you have some kind of money coming in if you have an assistant. Or, maybe you could have been talking about former assistants, or whichever way. Community resources, they do have women's shelters. They have resources out there, you all. Again, I know she probably didn't want to say, hey, I'm done, and somebody going to recognize her. Aren't you the woman from In Vogue? But, if it was me, I would let them know yes, and this is where I am. If I did Uber, I would be playing every one of my In Vogue songs, because somebody you pick up going to know those songs. And that's a good conversation starter.
Yeah.
There's a good conversation starter, and like Demetrius said, somebody that you pick up might be your help. Demetrius and I was, listening to a sermon, and the man said, you need to not only be looking for a blessing, you need to be the blessing. So, Don, you stop looking out, trying to be the receiver. You start getting out some blessings. Do you know how many people still would love that, still was fan or involved, that would love to be able to help you, put you in a position to win? And some of these people don't even want nothing back. They don't want nothing back. And, be trustworthy and play and have a spirit of discernment. I know a lot of things that keep us stagnant too, Demetrius. People talk too much. I don't want to come and tell you, Demetrius, you going to go and put it on Facebook. Or you want to go and help. You want to go and tell it before I tell it. That's another reason why people don't tell. Community resources, networking, again, using that car to do Uber Eats or DoorDash, meeting people. I would definitely cut it
Amazon
on.
Flex. Is that
Yeah,
Amazon
exactly.
Flex?
I forgot about that. Yes. And skill development, like I said, learn you something. You're not old. Learn you something that your brain cannot comprehend. Your brain can comprehend. Learn something that you already know is in high demand that they need right now. Social media is high right now. AI is high right now. Cybersecurity high right now. Senior analyst high right now. Project management very high. Very high. These construction sites, they need project management on there. And you're a minority. You're a woman on the construction site. Like I said, I had a patient the other day. He told me his daughter did dump trucks. Why you think she doing dump trucks? And the lady, she said, because it paid good money on a construction site. So you all don't throw down, and discard those places of humble beginnings, you all, because you starting from the bottom, but you can get to the top. Keep your mental health good, done. Keep smiling, and I hope even with you coming out that it is some genuine people that's around you. Pray and ask for the spirit of discernment, because not everybody really have your best interest at heart. Some people going to be reaching out, and they are just talking to you just to be talking. And I'm going to say, just because Demetrius and I didn't we didn't do a reaction off of it, but we want to just give just a moment of silence for Angie Stone. She faced some of the same thing, and she came out about the industry not paying her, and how hard she was living, and how hard it has been. But she, her health was failing, and she was in that Sprinter van, and out of all those people, and it flipped over, she was the one that died, and everybody else lived. What's the irony of that? Or dying, and you know that you was fighting with a big company. They had money. They had all the resources. They streaming your music. They're gonna get more. I'm pretty sure they had insurance on you, and they're gonna get, and your family still here suffering. So let's just give a moment of silence to me, just for Angie Stone. All right, rest in peace. And you all, don't forget to look up and change. And if you can be a bridge for somebody, try to be that. Don't do it for the clout or the recognition, but just go and just bless somebody. And if you don't have anybody to bless, go and pull up GoFundMe.com and just pick somebody on there just to bless. Just pick it. Just pick them. You don't even have to know them. Just pick somebody and just send them something. Just give them something randomly. I'm telling you, you really want to be blessed, you watch and see God work it tenfold to you for being a blessing, because you don't know what them people been praying for, and you the answer. You have anything else, Demetrius?
No, ma'am.
All right.
I'm just letting them be praying for everybody. Praying for Miss Dawn, Miss Angie too. I'm a praying man. That's all I got to say.
All right. This is the Lee Life Experience Podcast.
Hi, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the episode so far. You are here with the Lee Life Experiences. And remember, if you want to get your topics discussed or get our opinion or our perspective, join us text us at 833-370-1608 and put relationships in the comment.